Hello, everyone. Trust you're having a great day and enjoying the wonderful sunshine out there today. And it's not super warm yet, but hey, it's definitely nice. It's nice to see all the grass growing, the leaves coming out on the trees, and all the wonderful flowers blooming. It's very exciting for me. I love seeing that. So spring is here, and it won't be long, and summer will be. So I'm ready to sign up for that action. So look forward to it. Now, I know this is Friday. Not a day I usually get online and do Facebook devotion, but tomorrow, Saturday, and tomorrow at church here, we have training day, folks who are involved in our ministries, and it's going to be a busy day, and there's going to be lots of things that need to be done. So I was like, you know what? Friday morning is not as busy, so that's when I'm going to do it. So you can still catch it tomorrow, so it's still going to be there. So at any rate, the last time I was on, we were looking at the rapture, and today we're going to look at the tribulation for a few moments. Now, there's no way in a few moments in the video I'm going to cover every aspect of that. I'm just going to kind of hit the highlights. Actually, that's not really the best word to say. The bigger events, let's say. The tribulation begins with the rapture of the church. The tribulation period is a time of wrath. This is what it says in Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 15. That the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasting and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So judgment, destruction, punishment, like the world has never seen before, okay? And the tribulation, all those events that will take place that we'll look at in a moment, and many more that we won't be able to in this video, will encompass the entire planet, okay? Because of Revelation 3:10 says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the earth, or all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth, okay? So it's a global event, okay? No place will escape what is to take place, okay? And we're going to see all kinds of environmental things. So everywhere you are in the world, that you will be affected by those things, okay? So the purpose of the tribulation, what's the purpose? Really, it's the conclusion of the times of the Gentiles, okay? So this began, I should say, when Israel was taken into captivity by the Babylonians, and judgment against. And so that's when it started, and there's a judgment against Christ rejecting nations of the world. Okay, so Isaiah 26 verse 21 says, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. Okay, so it's just not that though. It's just not the dealing with the Gentiles. This is also a time when the Lord is dealing with Israel. All right. And you have to get this right, because there's a lot of churches, unfortunately, out there that preach contrary to this, and they leave Israel out of the equation. Israel's a big part of this, okay? And we're going to look at that as we do other Facebook devotions down the road. So the Lord's dealing with Israel and preparing her for restoration, a regathering in the millennial reign during the millennial reign of Christ, the second coming, and turning to Messiah, believing and trusting in him. Jeremiah 30 verse 7 says that, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay, so I want to be crystal clear, because there's a lot of false teachings out there about this. The purpose of the tribulation has absolutely nothing to do with the church. The church has been removed, the promised deliverance from the wrath to come. We are out of here, okay? We won't be here on earth, okay? And the Revelation has lots to say about that coming tribulation. The church removed, the rapture takes place, then the Lord is dealing with the wicked nations of the world, and he's drawing Israel to himself. And again, we'll look at that more in the weeks ahead, Lord willing. There's God's sealed judgments involving famine, death, economic upheavals, earthquakes, cosmic events that will take place and affect the earth. So all those things affect the entire globe, okay? There's a trumpet judgments involving hail, fire mixed with blood, the sea turning to blood, bitter water, demonic activity I mean, it looks like scorpions. This is the description is that we have in Revelation chapter 8 to chapter 9, and the death of 1/3 of mankind. That, again, in Revelation 8 and 9. Then the bowl judgments, swords on men, death of all sea creatures, the world is scorched by the sun, rivers dry up, darkness, and much more destruction. That's found in Revelation chapter 16. All right, I'm going to read you a couple of verses from Revelation chapter 6. And I saw when the Lamb opened up one of the seals and heard, as it were, the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown were given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So these are the four horsemen. This first one I just read about, this is the Antichrist. Okay, the crown indicates he's a ruler. All right, and the idea that a bow with no arrows kind of give the idea at first there's peace. And as soon as he comes on the scene, there's not immediate destruction, but it won't be long after that changes. It won't be peaceful. It'll be destruction, and it'll follow him everywhere he goes. Now, Lord willing, the next Facebook devotion we'll examine the Antichrist and the false beast, false prophet. There we go. We were having a little glitch. All right. So that's the first horseman. The second one in verses 3 down to 6, I believe it is, or 7. The red horse carries a large sword. Peace will be taken from the world. And history tells us that whenever there is, or whenever and wherever there's war, there's also economic problems and food shortages. And that's what takes place in the third horseman. He carries a pair of scales in his hands, and he symbolizes famine as the price of wheat and barley. In what verse is that? That's verse number 5. That's that. It talks about a pair of balances that are in hand, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. So the idea is that food is expensive, like a couple days' work enough just to buy a little bit of food. So incredibly high. And then the fourth horseman is pale, or the color of a corpse, the rider's death. And he comes after war and famine have arrived, okay? And the death toll will be 1/4 of the world's population, okay? The Bible clearly teaches that a political and economic powerhouse will be revived in the revived Roman Empire in in Europe. It speaks specifically about this in Daniel chapter 7, verses 3 to 8. Good thing for you to read sometime. The Antichrist will eventually come into absolute power, and he will dominate over that revived Roman Empire. In Daniel chapter 2, the end-time Roman Empire, that revived Roman Empire, is described as iron and clay, the feet of that big statue that Nebuchadnezzar saw in his dream. Iron is so strong, okay? So will this empire be. It'll be strong. But iron and clay don't mix. They don't mingle together. So there'll be some divisions. It won't be totally integrated as some other nations will be. So there'll be some disjointedness there. But at any rate, that's going to be the major power. And I don't doubt for a moment that what we see currently in Europe, the European Union, is laying. I'm not saying that that's it, but it's laying the groundwork for future revived Roman Empire. And because I say that because I really believe that we're in the final moments before the Lord returns. Like it calls us, the raptures of church, and then the Lord begins his program of the tribulation and does what he says in his word. So I hope that's a bit of a help to you to understand the Bible, the scripture, the prophecies, just a little bit more that we saw. There's great upheaval in our world today. There's no doubt about it. And I'm thankful, and we're not in the tribulation, okay, but there's upheaval. And I'm thankful that the Lord is still on the throne. He's still in control. And we get in his word and see what it says, and it can help us live the Christian life like the Lord desires us to live. All right, so just upcoming some things for our church family. Tomorrow, training day for those in our church family. Look forward to that time of instruction, some training to help us with future endeavors this year, and Lord willing, into the future as well. So that starts at 10:30. All right, so folks from our church. Sunday is Mother's Day. At 9 a.m. we'll be examining a boy who had 2 mothers. All right, so we'll look forward to that. And that's in Exodus chapter 2, and we held something special for our mom. So we want to honor them a little bit. And then at 11, we'll be examining Psalm 71 in our 11 a.m. service. I really hope you can join us here at Legacy on Sunday. But if you can't, you can always catch us online here, our Facebook page. As long as we don't have any technical difficulties, we will be here. All right, so have a great Friday. Enjoy that sunshine if you're around here. I don't know where you might be watching what it's like in your neck of the woods. But have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and God bless. Bye for now.